All right, I'm here with Casper. How you doing, Casper?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, you were at the Riverbed, and I see that you got your foot shot, or what
Yes,
happened to it?
I was shot in my left toe, and I was shot in my right foot. And that was about a year, almost a year ago, roughly, if I can remember correctly.
Yeah,
and it wasn't because of gang activity of any sort. Like, I was interviewed and questioned about the reasoning of being shot in my feet, and at the time I was under the impression that it was off the record, and I'm quoting exactly what they were telling me at the time. I was in my tent, I was sitting on the ground, and a SUV pulled up, a black SUV, and I thought it was police officers. I wasn't worried about it, but a lot of professional looking upper society people got out and asked me if I would talk to them, and at the time they stated it was off the record, because I think that they were more or less being given a more standoffish by the people that they would approach, due to the fact that a lot of those people, from my opinion, would not talk to the police or anybody associated or affiliated with the police. So if they come across as being off the record, then they're more or less likely to get somebody to respond to them the way they would like. And so at the time I was talking to them, I was not aware that anything I said or did at that moment was going to be put on any sort of social media or made to look like an example of any sort.
I know you've been trying to get back on your feet, and I mean,
just kind of up against the ropes since I've been out here. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. It's been a constant struggle, but every day is a new day and a constant challenge. But every day I make it is a day down and another day to go, and I'm constantly learning the lessons that I need to learn. I'm learning new things every single day. I'm getting knowledge in the new CityNet things that they have to offer people, the programs that they have to offer. I make the mistakes, I learn from them, and I move on.
Yeah, but now you're just trying to get back on your feet, trying to get a little bit of
yes, sir.
Of help
support here and there, people to,
And who approached you that time? It was the officials that approached you?
Lucille Cringe.
Lucille Cringe? Yeah, that's Anaheim.
Something.
Council, she's a council member.
Yes.
And
it really made me look. It gave me a really rough time, due to the fact that a lot of the people that are down there or were down there at the time had a hand in some sort of a social media involvement, or somewhere along the lines were knowledgeable in what was said at the time. And there was not a time or two during that whole entire month through 4 months that I wasn't getting asked why I said what I said or something, and it made me look really bad and sound really, really, really untrustful and not reliable, because I would tell them, if you trust me and you believe anything that I would say, you would know that I am telling you the truth when I said that I didn't say it. But a lot of people discredited me, and I lost a lot of somewhat of the friends that I did kind of lose trust with. I would say were good people, because of the fact that she made it seem like I was
misquoted you,
a hooligan, something that I wasn't.
That's what we kind of felt like that. Did they ever? Did they tell you this was going to be?
No,
on
they
the
did
media
not.
Or anything? There was.
Nope. They did not at all.
Yeah, because they told you it was going to be off the record.
Correct. And if they did say it was going to be on the record, I can tell you that since I had already been talking to them at the time of them making my statement about things, I probably would have continued to talk to them due to the fact that I have nothing to hide, but I also would have more or less controlled the amount of speech that I was giving to them, because I was more or less cordial in a friendly manner towards them. More or less, if it was on the record, I would have been a little less friendly and more on my awareness of how much I was giving them to use against me. Because if I know that if I'm on record, usually 9 times out of 10, I have been put in a position to where I understand that they're not usually using my information to benefit anybody else but themselves. And I hate to say it like that, but it's just my honest opinion, and that's only what I believe because of the fact that I've never been on a record at any sort of time, and anything that I have said in truthful honesty and beneficial, way has ever helped me out any. See, and I know that I don't know if they meant bad, I don't know what their intentions were, but I definitely would have not mentioned the fact that I was shot in my feet at the time. I probably would have just put the question off to the side because they had asked me what happened to cause that, and I would have probably just said something along the lines of accident. Is there anything else you would like to know? But because I felt like it was a honest concern off the record, I felt I was in a position to let them know that I was just...
And being on the riverbed, do you think it was better for you guys to stay there?
Honestly, yes. Yes.
I do.
At the time, if you would have asked me that, I would have definitely said no. I know for a fact I would have said no, and I would have definitely pushed for this. But now that I've experienced this life out here in the motels and the vouchers and it's a catastrophe. It's a lot less beneficial. It has less potential. It has a lot more stress. It has a lot more. We're not as unified as we're stronger as a whole because of the fact that the people, we look out for each other. A lot of people do not like us because we have a bad name. And there's nothing we can do about that because it's going to be like that for as long as we're who we are, And I get it. There's thievery. There's a lot of nasty people that don't know how to clean up after themselves. But I can also credit the people that do clean up. I can credit the people that have good hearts, have good nobility, honor, respect, trust. There's a lot of people down there that have saved my life more than once. There's a lot of people down there that don't let the addiction control them. There's a lot of people that don't even do drugs. There's a lot of people that people don't know about, and there's a lot of people that don't even get noticed for anything that they do because they don't do it for themselves, or they don't do it for anybody but themselves to make sure they have they do it because they have a heart, And it makes me sad to see that everybody as a whole gets looked at the same way, even if one person does exactly what they're supposed to do. Integrity goes a long way, and that's why it's called integrity, because 9 times out of 10 you won't see that person doing what they're doing. But it makes a big difference because if the people that were there we didn't have those people there, I'm sure that riverbed would not have lasted as long as it did. And yes, I do believe that it was a good thing now that I've gone through this, because we are very, 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 very stressed out here. It's struggling hard. People living completely on the streets, bus benches every night. I myself have had to move from 8 different spots in the last week because I can't lay down and sleep without being criticized for it. I got told that I had better luck sitting at a bus stop during the day sitting up, because I got told literally, this is quote unquote, if you lay down it looks like you're sleeping, if you sit up it looks like you're just sitting. So sleep sitting up. Can you believe this? Sleep sitting up.
It's
my
crazy.
God,
All right, Casper, we wish you good luck out there. All right, and I think we got
God
Lisa
bless.
here. Hi, Lisa, how you doing? We just moved you out here to another location. They keep kind of tossing you guys around from one place to another, huh?
Yeah.
In the last month.
In the last month, this is the 5th or 6th place that she's
Fifth
been.
in the last. Wow.
And it's getting harder.
Yeah,
It's getting harder. It's getting harder to work with.
We started at the Motel 6 on Cattell and Western, and everything was fine. They were still moving people out of the riverbed and stuff like that. And from there it went to, now no one wants to rent to you. When you have a voucher, no one wants to take it because it's associated with you're in the riverbed. So anything riverbed,
you don't even want to mention that you were out there. Well, actually, you don't even want to mention that you're homeless a lot of times.
Right.
Because even the hospitals kick you out if you don't.
Yeah, well, the hospitals, that's hard too, because my mom has a lot of health issues. She has nerve damage, kidney failures going on right now. She has a whole bunch of stuff, and no one will treat her, or they'll give her a shot and send her on her way. And I've had to pick her up at hospitals, like on Beach and Orange, for instance. I picked her up from the emergency room there, and they kicked her out and told her to start walking because she was waiting for me for too long. and it was maybe
Wow.
10 minutes that she'd been waiting, and I was coming from Anaheim Hills.
Yeah, that's a shame that that we're treating people hard, because we're all citizens here. We're all,
Yeah.
I mean, Americans.
It's hard to be under an umbrella of generalization as far as
Yeah.
your character as a person too, because everyone thinks, oh, they're in the riverbed, they just want to get high, they're all drug addicts and stuff like that. They're not. My mom's not a drug addict. My mom, worked at Broadcom for a number of years and has a degree from college. There's a lot of people that just fell down on their luck, or just chose, California's expensive, they just chose to go. It's a lot easier sometimes to just go and be by yourself and do what you need to do than have the stress on top of your lifestyle of rent. Just rent alone, not even utilities.
Oh yeah, it's getting harder and harder out here. So we wish you luck, okay, in the new place, and hopefully you stay here a little longer than.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you
Lisa.
so much.
Bye.